Hey guys, I'm Saumya and I'm back again with another video. I hope you're all well and safe. I make a lot of bookish content on this channel, and in today's video I am going to review a book which was sent to me by the author, and that book is Happiness is to Quit by Kimaya Kolhe. So let's get started. The title of Happiness is to Quit by Kimaya Kolhe makes it seem like a motivational book, but it is really not a motivational book. It is a thriller. And the title of this book is justified by the story. Aditi is going to get married to Akshay. So Aditi is a software engineer and Akshay is a best-selling author who writes romance books. Now Aditi is a simple Indian girl, and the fact that she's going to marry a famous author gives her a thrill. She's in love with Akshay and she's a nice girl and overall a relatable character. So even though Akshay is a successful author, he's not exactly satisfied with his success. He decides that he is going to change genres. He decides that he is now going to write a suspense thriller novel. So Akshay is so excited about this new book that he finishes it at a lightning fast speed. He writes his new suspense thriller novel in 12 days. So this novel gets published and it gets launched. 2 weeks after the book launch of Akshay's new suspense thriller book, a shocking Facebook post on Akshay's account changes everything for Aditi completely. Now talking about my experience of reading this book. So the suspense and the thrill factor in Happiness is to Quit begins when you are 20% into the story. It's an ebook and the Kindle edition has 200 pages. So the suspense factor begins after 40 pages. So there were certain scenes in the story that reminded me of some real incidents, and I think the author anticipated that as well. Because right in the beginning of the book, she has mentioned that any resemblance with any real event or person is purely coincidental. So well, that kind of declaration has been provided. So well, I am going to trust that in good faith. What I liked about this book was that Aditi is a book lover and Akshay is an author, and this book also talks about book launches and book awards to some extent, and it also touches upon the struggles and challenges faced by budding authors when their work gets rejected because of lack of funds. Their work is not able to see the light of the day and they are not able to get the kind of recognition they deserve for being talented, and as a result the kind of emotional trauma they go through. All this has been touched upon in this book, and the book lover in me liked this element in the book. As for the story, this is definitely a story-driven book and not a character-driven book. You do not feel that connected to any character as such, except for Aditi maybe, because as I told you, she is a relatable character. There are some emotions that the story invokes, but that happens towards the end of the story. The pace of the story is okay, but it could have been and honestly should have been a tad bit faster, because there are some descriptions in this book every now and then that slow the story down. As for the first 40 pages of this book, I have to mention that they were somewhat repetitive. Now, if I talk about the suspense factor in this book and the predictability aspect of the story, well, while reading it, there are times when the reader gets a premonition that something might happen, but the overall suspense factor in this book is maintained right till the end almost. So the writing in itself is simple and is easy to understand. The story has been narrated by Aditi in first person. There is general clarity in the writing, in the way it has been used to express the story. The problem, in my opinion, is the language used in this book, because the language is definitely a weak point here. There are grammatical errors, wrong sentence construction, and an overall lack of editing. So this is a self-published book, and I understand that when it comes to self-published books, you have to expect a few editing errors here and there. That is something that I've realized over the past few years of reviewing self-published books every now and then. But there should be an upper limit to those errors. There should not be so many errors that they end up affecting your reading experience negatively, because that is exactly what happened in case of this book with me. So overall, the plot of this book is not bad and it does make you want to reach the end of the story, but at the same time, the issues that I had with the language and also the pace that sometimes drops in the story were two things that definitely bugged me as a reader. So that was my review of Happiness is to Quit by Kimaya Kolhe. I hope you liked this video. If you want to connect with me on my social media, the links are in the description box. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, bye bye and take care and stay safe.